So I was so excited, and then a little bit less excited. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello, my tinglings. So, I've been making lots of kind of about my thoughts videos lately, but here's another one. I really needed to make this video in order to continue with what I was doing. I'm actually not set up for front-on videos right now. You can tell I've got the globe and that in the background, which was for, I was doing a video on my globe. Anyway, so that's why we're in this setup. So, first thing that happened today was I went in on my dashboard and found out that Gibi, I always forget how it's pronounced, but anyway, is subscribed to me, and that is insane. Somebody with 2.2 million subscribers is subscribed to me. I actually recorded a video just a week or two ago on my top 10 most popular subscribers. So that's going to be outdated when that comes out, but, well, assuming nothing changes as a result of this video, but anyway. So I was really excited, and I thought, oh, I'll put a post out just saying, like, oh my god, you know, like, that's really massive. And so then I went over to look at Gibi's channel, because I watch her. She's not quite exactly what I like to watch in ASMR. I mean, that happens, you know, sometimes things just don't quite jive for you. I like some of her posts about what it's like to be an ASMRtist, and I really relate to some of those, but I don't really get tingles from her content, which is what I'm usually in ASMR for. But anyway, I thought I'd go check it out because her style is very, I think, adjacent in some ways to things that I like to do. Her and maybe Gentle Whispering kind of are the big, most popular YouTubers who do things a little bit more in my realm, in that they tend to do more roleplay based stuff than just tapping or pure sound type things, usually, or triggers. Which they do those as well, which I do as well, but that's not really what their primary thing is. So I'm not subscribed to her. Sorry, Gibi, and I hope you're not offended by anything I'm saying, but I understand if you are, because I'm just going to tell you what I honestly think, if you do watch this. And I hope you can still find relaxation from my other videos. You definitely deserve it, because you do give so much in that way, so I don't want you to take anything as a criticism of that. That being said, so when I went over to her channel, I saw the video that's like her main video is talking about, hey, we made an app, and I hadn't heard about this, so I was like, oh, let me check this out. And I kind of went down the rabbit hole of YouTube comments, and then she also did a Reddit Ask Me Anything, so I was going on there to see kind of what people's reactions were. So basically, Zees is an app that she's created. It's going to cost $10. She and some other creators have gotten together to invest in. It would cost $10 a month to get the app, and from what I can see a lot of the features are very similar to what you would get on YouTube Red with maybe a couple additions. But it's kind of being marketed as, oh, this is a way to support the ASMR community. But there's only 25 ASMR creators on there at this time, because they do have their own servers, and I can understand there's costs with that. But saying that you're supporting the ASMR community and then it's taking, so for like the Apple App Store, for any app, they take 30%. So if you're paying $10, first of all, only $7 is going into the ASMR community at all. And then she's got a really good revenue sharing between the owners of the company and the creators get 80% of the revenues based on their watch time or views or whatever. So that sounds really good, but the price point of $10 a month for only 25 creators' content, I mean, seems like a huge mismatch to me. And it also, to me, as a creator, makes it feel like, oh, here it's for the ASMR community, but oh wait, it's again only for the most popular creators, which is the same thing that YouTube caters to as well. So it doesn't seem like, while it's good for maybe the most popular creators, I don't think they're actually going to get a lot of people onto the app because it doesn't offer a lot of features that are that different from if you got YouTube Red. Like you can watch it with the screen off and that sort of thing. Or in a different app. But, so, then in the Ask Me Anything, the other thing that a lot of people had a problem with, that they've only got 25 creators, and one of those creators is Heather Feather, who a lot of people have issues with because she refuses to give refunds on her Patreon, even though she isn't delivering the rewards that she's laid out. But being on Patreon myself, I understand that you may put rewards out there and the fulfillment of them may not coincide with what you initially thought. But I still think the most important thing with that is to stay engaged with your patrons so they understand where you're coming from. Which I think for most of my viewers, they kind of see, I do a daily video and they're chucking me some extra money. And the rewards are a bonus. That may change if I ever actually if I get better at fulfilling my other rewards. I do my behind the scenes videos and posts, but some of the others are maps moving. Anyway, so there is a lot of angst about that in the community towards Heather Feather, that because she said that she was going to be involved with this project, that people are thinking that maybe she's going to upload new content. And that I think people are understandably upset about that aspect. That she's taking money and not delivering anything, which is fine. If you're willing to then refund people money if they're not happy that you're not giving that. So, but Gibi was a little defensive of her. Obviously they must be friends or know each other, so she was defensive of her rather than taking that criticism as it's meant, which is if you're offering a product and you're not delivering it, people are going to be annoyed. And associating her product with that is, something. But anyway, so it's really interesting because a lot of the comments that I've seen on the videos and in the Reddit was basically like, oh yeah, this seems like it's a great app for content creators and doesn't really give anything to viewers. And I would say it's a great app for the content creators who are on it, potentially, but it's not even that. Anyway, so all of this kind of made me feel a little bit differently, I guess, towards Gibi. It's just the nature, and it's kind of because it keyed into another thing that I've felt, which is, so she does a sponsored Saturday, I think. I don't know. But the videos that she does, so, I do Sales Saturday. I love sales videos. I think that kind of trying to persuade you to buy something and telling you all the amazing features of something are a really good way to get ASMR. And I don't think that necessarily has to be non-paid. I mean, all of mine are non-paid, but I just mean I don't think that has to be non-paid. But that being said, I've been turned off every time I've seen a little sponsorship at the beginning of one of her videos, because part of, to me, in developing a relationship with an ASMRtist is that I know you and kind of trust you, I guess, and if you're just there going to be spouting somebody else's talking points, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know exactly what it is that bothers me about it, but it ruins for me the immersion in this. Whereas if I'm in a sales role play, I know you're supposed to be selling me, but that you're also doing it to give me ASMR rather than I'm like, oh yeah, there'll be a huge check in your bank account from that. I don't know. It's just, it impacts the experience for me, and I can't lie about that. And so having that combined with the other, like watching her sponsored videos has made me know that that's not something I would ever want to do. I've always thought that I could do sales videos for products, but I would only really want to do products that I think would make good ASMR, because to me the whole point is the ASMR experience. And I'm not saying that she doesn't, but it doesn't work for me when it's done that way, I guess is what I'll say. But so it kind of it brought kind of those feelings back as well when I was seeing all of these negative things about the app. She had all these non-disclosure agreements between people about whether they would be on the app and that sort of thing. And so she dealt with a lot of secrecy so that nobody else would, know the idea. When really it doesn't sound like it offers that much that's unique from other offerings. So it would ask for a little bit of exclusive content, but as far as the features go, they're pretty much the same. And so to me, it would make more sense to just build a Patreon and put stuff on there. And she said why she doesn't want to do Patreon, because it's kind of you pay for interaction or that sort of thing. But to me, interaction with you is value that you can provide, and so that's something worth paying for in a way. Whereas just watching your videos is something that can already happen on YouTube, and watching other ASMR videos is something that can also happen on YouTube. So, it's interesting. So I don't think, I will, because I've also seen there was another creator who did this kind of expose on the Tingles app, which I am on the Tingles app, and if you don't know what it is, I'm not really trying to advertise it, but I am on the Tingles app because I've just been curious to see if it would help me be more noticed, I guess, which it hasn't really, but there are some people who like to watch me on there, so I leave it on there. I don't really care, I guess, but I know that there's a murky history for the Tingles app as well, and I can understand why people would feel negatively towards it. And so having something that is maybe similar, but run by ASMRtists themselves sounds good, but not. The Tingles app is free, and then you can opt into premium, whereas this is $10 a month, and you can get a refund if you want within 3 days, like no free trial or anything like that. So it doesn't sound like something I'm interested in really as a creator, because I'm not who they want, and it's not something I'm interested in as a consumer because they're not the people I watch. So that's basically my feeling. And so in that way, I think by saying it's a way to support the ASMR community, I think it's important to make it really clear that if that is the ultimate goal, or what the vision is to understand, I think it needs to be, that vision needs to be laid out, that eventually we'd like to get to this point. Right now we can't afford that, so we have, this substandard model, which is just a meantime, so that hopefully we can get to this point, because people can buy into a vision of what they would want for the future. So if it would be, this would be a way to not worry about monetization for any of your, YouTube, your ASMRtists. But if you're not making it clear that you have vision to get somewhere, then people aren't going to buy into that vision, because it seems a lot like, oh, well, we'll see how much money we get and then we can see where it goes. And that's not the way vision works. Vision works by selling somebody a vision, and then they pay to that so they can get to the vision, not that they trust that you're going to have a vision. So that's basically my thought on that, is that I think it's important, and I think for me, the real benefit of having, a patron community or that sort of thing is, these are the people who are, my biggest fans or that sort of thing. So I have a community of people who I can ask my questions to in an area where maybe there's a little bit more trust. I wouldn't expect them to have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to hear about an idea I might have. But I think they would give me feedback on it from their perspective. But I've also had feedback on different ideas I've had, and I've ditched some ideas of ways I was thinking about doing things, approaching things, and have decided to approach them a different way because of that private live stream that I had. So I think it's feedback from the people you're trying to serve is super important. But it sounds like she's only really trying to get a few thousand people on the app, and she has 2 million subscribers, so she wants a really low uptake. But if you're only catering for a very small niche of the ASMR community niche, then marketing it as something that's for the ASMR community is a little disingenuous, I would say. But she's taken the feedback on and is delaying the release until the end of September and will be adjusting some things. But for now, I'll just say the Zees app isn't for me. And so it made me a little bit less excited. It's just the way it is. So I wanted to be very excited, but life happens, and I was a little worried about, I've just got this, her as a subscriber, and I don't want to say something to upset her, and I would maybe think about, in different videos I've said things about her, I'm not nasty, I just mean I think I may have said that thing about that I don't really like the way she does sponsored videos. But I've also said, things that she said have really helped me at different times. Anyway, so it's just made me think about all those things, like, oh, she might actually be watching those. And so I've been thinking about this with this video, like, oh, she may actually watch this, but, you know me, I'm always going to be legit and real. I'll tell you what I think, and that's why I'm me. You're always gonna get what I think. I don't pretend. And I think that's what allows us to have the genuine connection that we do. It's because, that what I present is genuine or genuinely a roleplay. But I think that ability to be vulnerable with you and tell you exactly what I think helps all of that. So if any of you have heard about the Zees app, tell me what you think. I am curious to hear if there are people who feel positive about it, who weren't in the comment section, because there were very few people who felt positively about it that I could see. Is it just the price point that you think is a problem? Is it the exclusivity among the most popular ASMRtists? Would you like it to be more something that was for the whole community? And if it is supposed to be that, my personal opinion, I think there needs to be the vision sold of what they want it to be eventually, because if I'm thinking, I'm supporting this eventually getting to that point, that's a completely different exercise to, hey, let me just line the pockets of people who are already making a lot more money than I am. So, anyway, that's what I have today to say. And I hope that you all have a good night. Especially you, Gibi, if you're still here or watched this at all. Goodbye, my tinklings.